What's going on, Buffs Nation? I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. I'm pumped to be back here today. This time, taking a step back from some conference realignment stuff. We're going to talk about the Buffs because I've had a ton of time to watch all the press conferences, all the different practice footage from Well-Off, for instance, and just kind of get a beat on what is going on throughout the first week of Buffs camp. So today I'm going to give you my quick thoughts and first impressions now that the Buffs have started fall camp. Of course, hit that like and let me know in the comments what you think about Colorado's first week of fall practice, and let's get started. First thing, man, I love Tim Brewster. I love Bill O'Boyle. I love Sal Sunseri. I mean, nothing is more music to my ears in football season when I'm watching a tape of practice and you just hear those guys talking crap, cussing up a storm, getting their players fired up. I love to see that. And it made me laugh today. I was watching the footage from yesterday, their first outdoor padded practice, and you see Tim Brewster getting up into guys' face going, "Full metal jacket." I love that he's leaning into that. And I mean, how can you not love Tim Brewster, right? Now, speaking of coaching, I mean, I know we're coaching everybody to the highest level, but I feel like there's an extra level of expectation for the secondary, and it seems like, man, like they're really getting coached hard because this position group is probably one of the most talented on the roster, and if Coach Prime's going to coach a team, he better have a lit secondary, you know what I'm saying? So it's been great to see the whole staff really get down in the weeds, coaching these guys hard. Cormani McClain definitely looks the part, definitely looks like he's put on some muscle and some weight since we saw him last put on the pads at the end of his senior season in high school. And man, looks big, long rangey. What is he, 6'3", 6'4"? I think he's going to be on the field day one making plays. Now another freshman. It was announced that Dylan Edwards is going to be back there returning kicks. I love to see that. We saw him return some during the spring game, and that doesn't surprise me that he's going to be one of those guys in there playing on special teams. We have a ton of special athletes, and it speaks to the level of Dylan Edwards that he's rising to the top with all these other speedsters to be one of those guys returning kicks. So love to see that. Speaking of special athletes, Travis Hunter surely looks the part. We've seen him line up at both the secondary and the wide receiver position. His chemistry with Shedeur, of course, looks as good as ever. It was great to see him outside yesterday wearing the blue jersey, playing both corner and wide receiver. Truly a special athlete. And I think we're going to be discussing him a lot as the season moves forward and potentially winning some different awards, right? Another potential award winner is, of course, our number 2, Shedeur Sanders. Not only can he design really great looking Gatorade bottles, but looking the part here at practice. I mean, you can tell that he's put on some weight since the last time that he's suited up, against or at Jackson State rather. And man, really looks the part, looks thick, you know what I'm saying? And his accuracy has been on display, throwing big time touchdowns to Javon Antonio or Xavier Weaver or Jimmy Horn or Travis Hunter, big passes downfield. He really has an NFL arm. He has NFL accuracy. And man, I'm starting to get pretty excited. Maybe I might add some wins to the to my official win total prediction for the Buffs before we open up the season at TCU. That'll be a video that I'll put out later this month, but we'll just have to see. But Shedeur definitely looks the part. Speaking of looking the parts, the wide receiver group looks as advertised. I just mentioned all of those guys. Along with that, we have Omarion Miller making big plays that we've seen circulate social media. We've seen Tavares Dawson talked about with his speed being one of the fastest guys on the team. And That's just to name a few. I think that we are locked and loaded there at the wide receiver position. Tight end, it was nice to see Michael Harrison make an appearance in one of those well-off videos. And yeah, he's definitely looking like he's put on some weight. And Tim Brewster was coaching him up on blocking. And so we'll see where he goes and what develops with this tight end room. But just like Tim Brewster, he said, we're going to have the best tight end room in the country. Bank that shit. I love the confidence that he's instilling in these guys. And I can't wait to see the product on the field. I can't wait to see what he does with these groups of guys that pretty much everybody, myself included, is kind of overlooking. So I definitely look forward to seeing the tight end room and how that moves forward. It's been hard for me to get a gauge on how the offensive line is performing. Of course, we can't watch full practices here on YouTube or anything like that, and not many of these practices have been fully padded or anything like that. So we might not have a good gauge on where this offensive and defensive line is at until TCU, and that's perfectly okay. I will say it's been nice to see Arden Walker get some attention coming back here to his home state of Colorado. I love to see that, and looking twitchy, looking fast. Like to see or liked what I saw in those videos. Now, we did lose one of our interior defensive linemen, Zach Blackwood. He's going back to the junior college route. Not really sure what happened there. This leaves us only 5 deep at the interior defensive line. Maybe there might be some players that might need to move inside if we deal with injuries, but we got 5 guys total. I don't think we have any scholarship or non-scholarship interior defensive linemen. So if we lose 1 to injury, that means we're on a rotation of 4. We're a little light. And again, this is what we have brought up throughout this show, is that defensive line is one of those big question marks. And I don't like the fact that we're a little thin there. But like what Coach Prime says, you don't play 100 guys on the field, every game or anything like that. We got the right guys. We'll just have to see how that shakes out if this team deals with injury at that specific position. But overall, I have loved watching all the practice footage and the press conferences every day. Speaking of the press conferences, it was great to see Shedeur Sanders out there, and he has the right leadership, the right temperament, the right personality for this role as QB1 for Colorado, and I cannot wait to see how he performs this year in 2023. Tell you what, many long-suffering CU Buffs fans, we're in it for a super pleasant surprise seeing NFL caliber quarterback play here at the university. So y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Overall, how can you not be more excited for this football season to see how this team comes together? And now we have the added drama of the last hurrah for the Pac-12. We all want that last Pac-12 title. We'll just have to see how all that shakes out, But let me know in the comments what you think. Who stuck out to you? Is there anybody that I might have overlooked that I didn't mention in this video? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be back later this weekend for another really fun video that's going to fire y'all up. And as always, Sco Buffs.